Greetings and welcome to another edition of Top 10 Worst Of Lists. The best in Worst Of Lists is voted by Car and Driver magazine in both 1991 and 2012. I'm your host for today's tour through a world of intellectual oddities and dualities that's uncompromising, and she'll stop at nothing to get to the deep essence of what humankind is driven by. And if it's at all possible, we'll take a detour on the road to you. Okay. So anyway, today's Top 10 Worst Of List is so astounding. It's bound to be a total and complete panty dropper. It is Top 10 Worst People who the world would be better off if they had been aborted. Okay, I know a lot of people out there are going to be like thinking, why the strong language Top 10 Worst Ofs? Isn't there a less offensive way to convey the same idea? And I thought, it was interesting. Yes, of course there's a better way to put it, goddammit. But what's all this politeness gotten us? You're trying to, I'm walking on eggshells. I'm walking on eggshells. Oh! What good has that done us? Nothing. Things keep getting worse. People keep getting more hateful. The rich keep getting richer, more consolidated, and more evil, and more bent on the destruction of everything we hold dear. So why should we, keep doing the same thing, expecting different results? That's what a lot of people define as assignate as the definition of insanity. I don't need any of that. I don't need to keep, going through the motions and trying a bunch of avenues that have proven to not work and make things worse for everybody. In the meantime, so all these people all throughout the world who are suffering at our hands, the people making iPhones, the people who are in leather tanneries all throughout the Pacific Rim, sweatshops and whatnot, people who are, mass incarceration, suffering here, working for pennies on the dollar, while we pay the room and board and corporations make off with the profits. Well, what the hell's wrong with this side of my hair? God damn it, it's always side of my hair needs problems. I need to get it propped up. I need to get an expert come in here and work with me on it. This goddamn humidity's not doing me any good. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and the humidity in this goddamn room has got to be 1,000%. What kind of 78 degrees at 2 in the morning. Oh man, sucks to be me. Anyway, I'm very excited about today's topic because even with the offensive title, it's going to be very revealing about elements within the human condition that are often brushed off, pushed to the side. And I think that we can do a lot better. But first we get that number one, I want to let you know that even with this hair right here, even with this hair, I'm still not going to be compromised. I mean, people look at me walking down the street and be like, what is wrong with that guy's hair? And I'll be like, look, you can make fun of what I look like all you want, to the extent that it makes you feel better about your lousy and horrific life and ugly soul. And that's fine. If that's what gets you from point A to point B, then work it, girl. All right? But me, personally, I don't have good looks to trade off of. I've got to trade off my intellects and brains. And therefore, I'm going to come out right out and say it. I have been measured throughout my life and found wanting. Okay? So if you hear stuff as part of today's episode and you're like, that doesn't sound right, It's as right as I can get it. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's either one, the objective truth, or two, the version of the truth that the patsies and toadies of the aristocracy and the media would want us to believe. So it becomes, I mean, it's also like a moving target. Although they're shifting. These people that were, giving us our marching orders and telling us who to be, what to be, how to think, and the scope of what we can think about. They're shifty. They're crafty. Where am I? All right. And number two, I'm not going to play a partisan game here. This is not what this show is about. You can go and take your partisan divides and your hatred mechanisms and shove them up your pee hole. I'm totally for serious. Because it's like, again, you keep doing the same things over and over again, expecting somehow it's going to result in people. Take a look at right now at MAGA. They own everything in the whole goddamn world. They own the libs. They own the government. They own the education system. They own, the psychotic division of the National Health Division, where Captain Brainworm is telling us that the most important thing we need to do is eliminate red dye number 2 when there's enough toxic mercury in fish that pregnant women can't even take one bite. One bite! And it's sad. It's sick. It's sad. It's various different percentages of sick and sad combined. Sick, sad. And it's just like, and the MAGAs who have everything, they got the economy controlled by the billionaires who are ultra conservative, which is MAGA, and they got the education system with the all the stuff and whatnots, and the politicians, obviously, and every single goddamn news resource outlet, alt-rights, middle of the road, alt-lefts, all of them are owned by corporations who are all conservative, and whether MAGA wants to admit it or not, they're ultra-conservative, which is MAGA, to a T. And yet MAGA's more pissed off than ever. Oh, what the hell is that? This should be a teachable moment, to borrow an Obama-ism, for all of us. These careful what you wish for, you might get it type of, or the opposite of it. I can't really figure it out on the fly. Plus, it's so goddamn hot here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep going without passing out right in front of you. But the fact is that they've got everything that they wanted, and they're still angry and upset and want more and more and more. And what's going to satisfy them? To kill off half the people in this country, or ship them off to some, godforsaken hellhole in South America, slave camps? That make them happy? So they got 50% less of the people? Well, good luck, creating any GDP in your country that pays for all this stuff that we all enjoy, all the social services, all the, roads and highways and police and everything like that. Because, I don't know, it's something like along the lines of probably about 75% of the GDP is created by the blue states and the cities. So, good luck. If you eliminate all the other people who are out there making the bulk of the income that this country enjoys, that turns it into the power that it is, that allows them to build enough weaponry to bully every other country in the whole goddamn world, even though they send an obvious psychotic nut job out into the world who tells them that he hates everybody and wants to blow up countries and wants to drop loads of, loose turds all over the people of America from a fighter jet and put up gigantic golden statues of himself. Don't y'all believe in that Bible of yours and the golden calves and all? It's astounding to me, the hypocrisy of it all. What is the point of all of it? Is where's the conservative thing going with this? Is it just to destroy our souls? Because, the one most important component that makes us human is free will. And free will is out the freaking window. Because if you live in a fairy tale that's been designed and mutated into something that's a series of falsehoods and misrepresentations of reality, like our society is, how can you make real choices, informed choices? Choices are based off of having some sort of objective truth that's informing that choice. And in the absence of objective truth, your choices are ill-informed, therefore they aren't really choices at all. And in the absence of choices, that means that you don't have free will. And if you don't have free will, that means you're not human anymore. Because it's the one thing, that and opposable thumbs, that defines what a human really is. It separates us from the rest of the creatures on this godforsaken planet. Where are you all looking to take this? Right? How many people do you want to obliterate? Create a list. Okay? All the people that you want to rub out. Okay? It's just like a wish list. Okay? And we'll just pick a date in the near future. Give people at least a couple years leeway so they can, settle old scores and leave behind a trail of tears. And just say, these are all the people that we want to eliminate from planet Earth. I can imagine what it's going to look like. It's going to be, all the usual suspects that the bullies and the, aggro types of conservatives have been looking to eliminate for thousands of years now. I know, I can picture in my mind what that list is going to look at like. It's going to be blacks, Jews, brown people, gay people, immigrants, it's going to be to the point where you're going to want to eliminate about 60% of the people that live on planet Earth, or more, maybe more. You say, all right, fine. That's probably what's going to happen with the AI robots. It's probably not going to be, maybe, they might do the elimination of the human race in stages. And one would think, based on the people who are in power now, that these first stages of elimination would, settle on all those people from your hate lists, from all you bullies and demented profligates who are out there just to strike out against others from a heart full of darkness that has no way of rising above the hatefulness within them, the toxicity. So where does the toxicity come from? Babies aren't born like that. All right, so anyway, I'm not partisan. I'm not going to play that game. It just leads to hate, and hate leads to the dark side. As much as I hate the Jedi Council and their intransigence and their complete ignorance of something that should have been blatant right in front of our face, namely Palpatine was Sidious. They're sitting in an office right next to Sidious practically, and Sidious is right there going like, have you heard of the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise? He's just sitting there going like Plagueis the Wise to their leading recruit, and they're just like all kind of spinning around going, oh man, I hate the Jedi Council. Clouded, their view is. Clouded? A goddamn 4-year-old could have seen Sidious's plan from, how far, far away, or whatever it says in that opening scroll. Long time ago and far, far away. A 4-year-old! All right. So one final thing before we get into this, he's got a few commercials to enunciate in order to be able to, pay the skills, pay the bills with So, all right. Near tofu, made completely out of meat. It's a series of food products that look like tofu, taste like tofu, have a mouthfeel of tofu, but made completely 100% out of beef products. Near tofu, specially designed 100% meat product that is processed and distilled to look, taste, feel, chew, and regurgitate just like real tofu. It's a delicious taste treat for non-vegans and carnivores that are looking for a little more, so on and so forth. Write in the show to, for our famous near foo recipes and create your own family favorites such as chick foo, filet foo, crab foo, huevos rancheros foo, mushu pork foo, egg foo, chitlin foo, and Cornish hen. Let's be honest, we here at Near Foo couldn't even give a rat's ass about what you do or who you are, but if you don't buy our fine products, we'll be sending a crew over to your place to serve up some of our other favorite recipes such as cement shoe foo, brass knuckle foo, beat the crap out of you foo, and your family pet foo. Use your own crotch like a trampoline foo and others. So don't buy some because it's good and good for you foo, but buy because we tell you to. Foo. Near foo! God, what the hell? Do I have to explain it like I hold your hand, walk you through all this goddamn thing? Let's workshop it for a little together so that you comprehend what I'm trying to do with this fake commercial. What is a foo? What's the honey? I can't follow along with this commercial. It's got the tofu products made out of meat. I don't get it. There you go. Well, let's go on. Let's get on with it, shall we? I mean, because it is very important. Very extensive top 10 worst of list today. Top 10 worst people who the world would be better off if they were aborted. Number 10, the Jonas Brothers. Now, it's going to be, I've picked on the Jonas Brothers before many times, and I think today's the day. We're finally going to take a close look at what the Jonas Brothers are capable of, because the Disney Corporation is so sick-minded. I mean, it's not just the idea that Walt Disney played host to Leni Riefenstahl when she toured the United States when no other movie executive would meet with her during the height of the Nazi regime, and she was here representing Hitler and the Nazi regime, and none of the other head of the studios would meet with her except for Walt Disney. Wow, what a kind and receptive representative of the United States. Oh, Ms. Riefenstahl, I'm quite sure that fully operational Death Star will be ready for you when your friends arrive. Then he's doing movies with Nazis and Werner von Braun with Man in Space and getting Academy Award nominations for Best Short Film with a movie with a Nazi where they're showing the launching of V2 rockets, which probably landed in London and killed hundreds of people. And they're like, oh, here's the V2 rocket that Werner von Braun invented, and whoosh, 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 and showing them being launched. They didn't, I don't think, show the death counts of those rockets as they landed in London, killing, who knows how many. There were thousands. There were actually the V2 rocket would have been a game changer had they gotten it a year or two earlier. I mean, they could have bombed Moscow from the sky. I mean, they were all over that stuff. Not only is Disney doing those types of things, but now here they are with their parks today's day and age, eliminating all those quirky little individualized rides like the Tom Sawyer riverboat experience and Tom Sawyer Island in the middle of Disney World, Magic Kingdom, and replacing it with Cars Land. So you can basically, it's like probably Cars Land is probably, and I don't know, but it's probably about 10% ride, 90% gift shop, what is it? Evil Doer Land or something like that. Again, probably 10% of the land is for a ride, 90% is for another gift shop. The entire all of Disney World has been Epcotified so that it's nothing more than a shopping mall. You got little rides and stuff like that. You get probably, I don't know, with the infamous Disney lineup systems, or even if you got the buy the pass that you don't have to wait quite as long, you're still only getting about probably 8 rides a day at that place, no matter how you do it. And that's, 8 rides and 8 different gift shops, and so the bulk of your day is going to be spent in the gift shops, shopping it up. And they've replaced all the parks. They're getting rid of Mr. Toad's Wild Rides, and all the things that were kind of quirky and unique that only existed in the parks are now just replaced with stuff that's derivative from the movies that is an excuse for them to build an individualized gift shop for you to exit through on their way out. So that you can go, like you go through all these rides, it's just an opportunity to sell you swag. So even, when you're going to a place of recreation where you're paying something, I don't know, like $250 a day to get in there or something along those lines, you're still having to get, no pun intended with the lines thing, but you're still just going to a very clean shopping mall with probably a ton of security. I mean, I don't even know how these places stay open anymore. There's so many fights everywhere you turn. There's just craziness everywhere. And, this happiest place on earth, it's just the happiest shopping mall on earth. Why are they hesitating? Let's lean into it for what it is. That's what Disney is. It's just this endless homogenization of people, dedication to the principles of Nazism, especially the anti-Semitic thing. And then, also you get an endless shopping mall. It's funny how, Disney himself had a vision of Epcot where it was just going to be like the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, where people will be able to find easier ways to be more productive and have more productive and rewarding lives in planned cities and communities, where they would, sort of basically just kind of put the streets and delivery access for trucks and things like that underground, so that the only things that they had above ground were bike paths and walking paths and beautification parks and stuff like that, which, they never had the guts to be able to pull off. The minute he died, they're like, whoa. He's hit him a film where he says, this is the most important part of Disney World. This is the reason why we're building Disney World, is to build this Epcot thing. And, then, somebody put a little bit of arsenic and old lace in the old man's latte. And oopsie boom, Walt Disney dies, 3 weeks later of a sudden onset of giant aggressive cancer out of nowhere. All right, so and then you get the Miley Cyrus of the world. I mean, pathetically, Hannah Montana, and Lizzie McGuire's, and of course these guys are number 10 on the top 10 worst people who we'd be better off if they were aborted. The Jonas Brothers, and I'm going to take you through a list of song titles of the Jonas Brothers. You tell me how vanilla. I mean, this is vanilla to the point of being able to, cause a diabetic coma from some people. Here we go. We've got Before the Storm. Tune in for the new Jonas Brothers song, Before the Storm. And people are like, oh my God, have you heard Before the Storm? Epic! And Can't Have You. So deep, so powerful, so profound. And then there's Chillin' in the Summertime. Jonas Brothers' new single, B-side. Can't Have You, with the B-side of Chillin' in the Summertime. I'm chillin'. Oh, so let me hear it. I brought into the mix of production elements. I've got free Beatmaker console, so it will help me with my version of Chillin' in the Summertime by the Jonas Brothers. Baby, I'm chillin'. Baby, I'm chillin'. Hey, baby, chillin'. Chillin' in the summertime. Yeah. So horrible. And the kids, is dancing till tomorrow. You can think that's a game changer right there. Chill, dancing till tomorrow. Dancing till tomorrow. Baby, we're dancing till tomorrow. Until tomorrow. Oh, baby, I'm dancing to. Oh, damn it, tomorrow. And then there's, who could forget the immortal classic, Don't Throw It Away, Girl. Yeah. I've never heard these songs before ever in my whole life, but I can't imagine they'd be any different than how I'm projecting them to be. Don't throw it away, girl. No, no, no. Our precious love. Don't throw it away, girl. Our precious love. Joe Jonas is my ears. We're somewhere in there. Nick Jonas. He's the guy with the ears. Every single time. Every single time you say goodbye or feel alive. You got me feeling alive, girl. 5 more minutes. Just give me 5 more minutes. Come on, baby. With all we've shared together, can't you give me 5 more minutes? And there's Girl of My Dreams, which I would think would go something like this. Girl of my dreams. Oh yeah, don't you know that you're the girl of my dreams? Suck it. And then you got Give Love a Try. Hey baby, why don't you give it a little try? Yeah, don't you give love a try. You suck it, and then you have good night and goodbye. Same deal. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Gotta find you. Oh, baby, I gotta find you. Oh, yeah. Happy when I'm sad. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I'm happy when I'm sad. Yeah. I'm happy when I'm sad. Nick Jonas. Nicky. Sad. Yeah. Suck it. And then there's Hey Baby, which, you know, who could forget that one? And I want to be like you. I want to be like you. I even want to wear the same dress you got. I love that dress you had last. I'm going to get you good. And there's just one introducing me. Hey, baby. I'm introducing me. Hey, baby. I'm introducing me. Suck it. Just Friends. Kids of the Future. I believe that kids of the future. Baby, don't you know I believe in the kids of the future. Suck it. And then there's LA Baby, Where Dreams Are Made Of. Hang on a second. LA Baby, what dreams are made of. LA Baby, what dreams LA baby, dreams are made of. Yeah, suck it. And then you, I'm not making these up. I've never heard the songs. I don't know if that's how the songs go. I'm guessing that I'm pretty close. You got Leave Before You Love Me. What's wrong? Why do people follow this stuff and give their money over to it? I know they're just 12, but it doesn't have to. Does it have to really be this saccharine? Live to party. Love is on its way. Love is on its way. Don't worry, baby. 'Cause love is on its way. Ooh, ooh. Suck it. And then, it goes on. I've still got 20 of these left. Every single title is more vanilla than the next. Make a wave. Make it right. Meet you in Paris. Meet you in Paris? Only Human. I think that might be a cover. No, I don't know. Maybe. Play My Music. Gee, wow. They got product placement for their own music in their own music. Please Be Mine. Pom Poms. Pushing Me Away. I can hear it now in my mind's eye. Quit pushing me away. Oh, honey, darling. Ooh, quit pushing me away. It's Saturday night. You and I take flight. But there's something inside you that can't keep from pushing me away. Oh, but darling, don't you? I mean, right? Sandbox. What the hell is that one about? Send it on. Send it on, my love. Or something like that. Set this party off. Set this party off, come and get it down, get it down. Get me down, get it off, get this party off. Set this party off, baby now. Set this party off, suck it. She should have said no. Should have said no. Baby, I should have said no. Still in Love with You. Oh boy, that sounds like a deep one, huh? Really. Coloring outside the lines of that one. Summer Baby. Summer Baby. Summer Baby. Whoa, baby. Summer in the Hamptons. Summer there. You and me spending summer in the Hamptons. Oh, baby, we'll be kissing in Martha's Vineyard. Summer in the Hamptons. That's something that everybody can relate to, right? Who hasn't spent the summer in the Hamptons? Chappaquiddick, hanging out there, Mary Jo Kopechne. Summer rain, into every life a little is gonna fall some. Summer rain. Things will never be the same. Things will never be the same. Things will never be the same. No, baby, never be the same. No, baby, take it as it is. Oh, baby, take off your panties. Or this is me. This is me. Oh, baby, don't you know? Oh, this is me. This is our song. This is our song. Vacation Eyes. Vacation Eyes. Video girl, Waffle House. They got a song called Waffle House. Waffle House. Oh, baby, it's a Waffle House. Waffle House. Baby, meet me at the Waffle House. Kissing in the rain now. Waffle House. It's in the summer in the Hamptons. Yeah. Baby, it'll be Waffle House. House. We got the party. Sorry, I can't help myself. I can't stop it. We got the party. Yeah. We got the party. Yeah. We're kissing in the rain now. In the party. Dreams underage drinking. Gonna scissors position. We got the party. Are you getting it yet? Have I driven you insane yet? That's what my goal is. I want, by the time I finish this bit, I want everybody's going to be so like completely saturated in the depths of Jonas Brothers driven insanity that maybe we can finally bring the madness to an end once and for all of the plastic posers of America Association. What a man got to do. We Rock, there's one We Rock, I don't want to miss that one. What a man gotta do, what a man gotta do to love you. Yeah. Or what did I do to your heart? What did I do to your heart? Oh yeah. What do I mean to you? What do I mean to you? What I go to school for? Oops. What do I go to school for? Oh, baby, it's to love you. Kissing in the rain. What do I go to school for? Well, I was starting to get off on that one, huh? Probably because he kept another 4 bars of that at least. What we came here for. Let's do what we came here for. Kissing in the rain. What do I go to school for? What we gonna do now? Do I go to school for? I'm dead. When you look me in the eyes, when you look me at the endless classic, look me in the eyes, all you see is love. Who's in your head? Who's in your head when you think of me? Who's in your head when I think of you? You just don't know it. You just don't know it. And your biggest fan. I'm the biggest fan. Ooh, and you're my favorite song. You're my favorite song. Oh, wanna kiss you in the rain. Jesus Christ. It's over. It's finally over. You can come back now out from underneath the covers. Take your earmuffs off. Number 9 of the top 10 of worst people. The world would be better off if they were aborted. The freaking Nazis. The freaking Nazi party. Both overt and crypto. So you got your basic, sort of German Nazi parties type of Nazis who are just out there just doing their thing. With the Nazism out there in the open. And then you got the crypto Nazis who are running the United States, been running the United States since Eisenhower became president. The head of the military and the head and the, being the head of the civilian government is a bad idea. You should have picked up on that a long time ago, but you didn't, and now so we're sweating it out. Because the basic, as bad as the American government was prior to Eisenhower and Prescott Bush and Allen Dulles and all those guys turning it into their own private little Nazi party. It's never been. I mean, the world is a vampire. Number 8 of the top 10 worst people the world would be better off if they were aborted. The Amerinazis, both overt and crypto, most important, the people who are basically collaborators with the Nazi Party, trying their very best to lay the foundation by soft power applications of sort of goading us and socially engineering us into being intolerant and open to suggestion about the tenets of National Socialism and what it can do for, your average basic white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, such as the people who are running South Park, the Bush family, Dwight Eisenhower, Richard Nixon, Thomas Dewey, all those types of guys and whatnot. They need to be, we'd be a lot better off if those people never got any position of power where they could affect the lives of other people. I'm softening it up. I don't want to come out flat out and say that we'd be better off if they were never born, but that's really what I'm saying. Okay, if you really need something a little bit more dramatic, like than never allowing them power to be able to influence other people, that's just sort of like me trying to explain a little bit more in depth as to what's really going on here. It's because it's not just simply being imposed on us. It's all of us sort of roll over playing dead. The thousands and thousands of slurs against Jews that Eric Cartman character has portrayed in South Park were never about the joke. It was all about gradually pushing people into hating Jewish people. And the people who control South Park, and their parent network, Paramount, who was run up until you think the Ellisons are bad. Take a look at the guy who was in there before, Sumner Redstone. You just listen to the name and you know what the probable nature of the personality was behind the name. Hi, I'm Sumner Redstone. Welcome to my whites-only golf club. These people are sick-minded misanthropists who have tarted themselves up in disguises so we can't really recognize. They're not walking around every day in Nazi uniforms, but the look has changed, but the actions are just the same. And it's relentless on television. Mort with Family Guy. The Bryant character in Family Guy, who's the only political character in there, is out as a liberal and woke and everything like that. And they show him to be the dumbest, most egomaniac character of all time. And he has nothing to offer anything. He's no talent whatsoever. Talks a big game about how great he is. He's full of himself, self-imposing, and always self-righteously reacting to everything in every scene that he's in. But that's not an accident. It's not a contrived device that they're using to drive humor. It's a device that they're using to make people, hate liberalism. And it's look at the other, one of the other recent big projects of the South Park people, Team America. Take a look at how many liberals they bash the hell out of. It's systematic, and it's never the other way around. Never. And they did a show, That's My Bush, where it seems like they might be bashing on Bush, but what it is they're just soft pedaling a different version of Bush to make him seem just like a clown. And it wasn't true because what Bush Jr., when they had the show, That's My Bush, it's the South Park people, and it just made him seem like a goofball, when in the meantime, him and his cabal of neocons were organizing, in my opinion, a false flag for 9/11, and using that false flag to be able to create an opportunity for their buddies at Halliburton to make billions and billions of dollars in a no-bid contract, privatize large-scale war for the first time ever, so that now private corporations were taking booty off of the American taxpayers instead of the people of Iraq. So it's completely changed who gets exploited for war. It's not the people that you're fighting against, it's the people you're fighting for is who they're stealing the money from to make war just a different version of profiteering, where you profiteer off the people that you're representing as a warring nation instead of the people you're persecuting the war against. And then, of course, 1 million innocent Iraqi civilians got slaughtered. Do you think he's a clown now? You think it's fun that, how South Park was portraying the guys are just a goofball or whatever? In the meantime, 1 million people get slaughtered. Innocent civilians, not even counting the military. These are all intentional actions by a third-party outsourced propaganda ministry that's designed specifically to act as what an internal propaganda ministry would in most fascist empires, but now since the United States is sort of this crypto-fascist empire that exists below the surface, they have to do it in a sort of secretive way. But all these corporations that run the media and run the education system and run the cultural mechanisms are all on board. Excuse me. It's 80 degrees in here, and the humidity's got to be 1,000. Look at this hair. It's absolutely horrific. All right, so let's keep going. Let's keep plugging away. We're making good progress. These are heavyweight subjects, but we need to take a look because, your alternative to taking a look to the things that I'm bringing up here is a total death of the human race. And we're right on the brink of that anyway. I don't know if you've seen the videos of the cybernetic robots and stuff and what they can do, but if you did and you grappled with the subjects that I'm bringing up, you should be terrified. And I want you to finally be terrified. Let yourself be terrified instead of all this escapism. So maybe that'll motivate you to do something about it. I doubt it. I've never seen a pack of wildly inappropriate people going out to all these shows and business as usual. This is not usual. This is not business as usual. Joey Chestnut winning hot dog eating contests when we're on the brink of total overt fascism in the United States forever, with a $1 trillion a year military budget and the largest contingent and Big Brother spy networks that are disabling any opportunity for people to gain traction to change the trajectory of our lives and our society. And you're like, let's go to a Cubs game. Screw you, buddy. You and your ignorance, and your willful ignorance, your gleeful ignorance is destroying the planet and allowing these sick-minded sociopaths to run wild over all the rest of us. And it's pathetic. You've got no priorities. You've got no ability to be able to think for yourself. No ability to be able to counteract the attacks that are being waged against the human race whatsoever, or even recognize it. And you're just walking around like nothing's wrong. You know that everything is wrong. Next to the people that the world would be better off if they were never born. J.J. Abrams. What? Oh, God damn it, stupid. Oh, I still exist. Wow, what a bummer for you. J.J. Abrams. Well, why does anybody want to watch a movie by J.J. Abrams? I'm going to do these movies. I'm going to do movies like Steven Spielberg in 1980. Why? Because, that's what people do. That's what people like. situations of stress, uncomfort, people who are lost and don't have any sort of new emerging personalities or intellects to be able to shape their actions or society or interpersonal relationships going forward. They always look back to, some era from 20 years earlier in order to be able to adopt the mannerisms and habits of those eras, and that way it takes them off the hook for having to be their own selves, their own individuality, and just sort of lost, with no path forward, no ability to be able to have strength of character, to be able to just march to the beat of their own drum. And that's what J.J. Abrams is born for. Now, there is good news on the J.J. Abrams front. His production company is imploding, and he's had to give up his own sort of like production studio building in L.A., and it's still making movies and stuff for whatever reason. But the J.J. Abramization era of just copying. I mean, look at that Disney trilogy of Star Wars movies. It's just the absolute worst thing. It's copycat of the first trilogy and just has nothing to say. And all those actors are just so deeply uninteresting and non-charismatic and non-compelling. So who wants to watch Daisy Ridley or whatever that lady's name is, Daisy Ripley? Who wants to watch 2 hours of her running around going, hi, I'm going to defend you to pick up a new bag after I swat around Kylo Ren. It's like nobody connects with any of these people on an emotional level like you did within 5 seconds of the old trilogy. And the people I don't want to be like grandpa or anything like that, but it's goddamn true. Most reason why is not just because of the copy. There's two reasons. Because J.J. Abrams was copying the old movies, plot point per plot point. But the other big side of it is, who the hell wants to watch these surface-minded nobodies in these movies for hours and hours? It's not like anybody wants to see, Kylo Ren bouncing around or is like terrified by Kylo Ren. Oh my God, Kylo Ren. You got Darth Vader over here, and then you got Kylo Ren. Which one of you think is a more imposing and menacing villain? J.J. Abrams. There's not in the entire ass, you don't deserve the entire ass, but there's a large portion of my ass that's ready for you to eat and feast and go back for seconds. Maybe even have some leftovers the next day. J.J. Abrams, you lousy, stupid, sweaty, of trite, disposable plastic. Next, people we've been better off if they've never born. Bill and Hillary Clinton. I'm sorry, all you people, all you lefties who still believe in these fifth column operatives at this point, but you're part of the problem. Anybody who would support Bill and Hillary Clinton and think that this is liberal progressivism and like wistfully look back at the days of Bill and Hillary and go like, oh, if we could only be back to saner times when Bill and Hillary Clinton were denying us national health care plan and going to Pound Town with interns. These were horrible people. These were people who set us up to fail. These were people who were never liberal. Hillary Clinton was a volunteer for Barry Goldwater during her formative years and went down to the Republican National Convention in 1968 down in Miami Beach. This is not a true liberal. This is a person who's pretending to be a liberal. This is a person who's responsible for us not getting national health. One person was responsible because she was put in charge of implementing a national health plan. All she really needed to do was to say Medicare for all, and we would have had it for 45 years. Instead, she's like, here's a phone book, worth of regulations and minutia and details that nobody was able to even get around to reading, let alone bringing it up for a vote. So it never even came up for a vote. Never even came for a vote. And all she needed to do was say Medicare for all. Oh, man. These people have ruined the balance of power, as tenuous as it was. I mean, even without the politicians in their back pocket, the ruling elite still had all of the corporations controlling media and informational exchanges. They still had all of the economy under their auspices, and the education system wasn't doing much good for anybody by that point. But as of really, I think it started with LBJ when and it became obvious when he decided to bail on the 1968 presidential election in March of 1968. There's no way that you do that unless you're looking to backstab the entire party. March of 1968? The guy lived long enough to have served that term. Died shortly afterwards, but hey, what the hell? He probably deserved it. And then, ever since then, all of the Democratic politicians were failures at what we needed them to be, which was an alternative choice to be able to support the needs and will of the working class and the blue-collar types who were completely shut out of the game by the right-wingers and the GOP and all that stuff. And then you get Carter comes in, and the laundry list of Carter failures is a mile long. And what if it wasn't failures? What if it was just him kind of rolling over and playing dead? And because it's just like so much failure and the GOP never would have made a comeback if all things were equal in just 4 years after what was revealed during Watergate. Why didn't Jimmy Carter, investigate the rest of what was going on? Even if you can't nail Richard Nixon, you can still establish all the malfeasance that was done so that we wouldn't have made the mistake of bringing the Republicans back into power, many of whom worked for Nixon, Bush Sr., and Dick Cheney, and Donald Rumsfeld, all worked for Nixon. And we wouldn't have had Carter investigated all that to the nth degree and found out the extent of these guys' crimes, we never would have brought them back in 4 years later. Ever. And yet here we go. Carter does nothing. And then 4 years later, the Republicans are back in power, bigger and better worse than ever. And then, I talked about Bill and Hillary Clinton, and then comes Obama. And Obama doesn't investigate any of the lies that the neocons told to lead us into a false war that never needed to be fought in Iraq, killing 1 million civilians. And then 2 senators are assassinated by mysterious plane wreck in back-to-back election years. And nothing, no investigation at all. It's impossible that something like that type of coincidence, with the end result being that the GOP took over those 2 Senate seats, which gave them the margin of majority to be able to vote to authorize the Iraq War. I mean, there's smoking guns by the dozens, and no investigation is done. That means that the opposing party in this country is in on it. They're covering up for them. There is no representative. I know you all want to believe, that, that these guys are saviors and that they're up against it because the media is so hardcore right wing and against and anti Democrat Party and stuff like that. You're wrong. You're on the wrong track. These guys were fifth column operatives and pure evil, and they were in on it. They were part of a plan to subterfuge any opposition party in the United States and sell out the working class people and the poor and the middle class in order to be able to consolidate the power of the upper class and the military so that they could eventually destroy humanity and replace all of us who, all throughout history, the only reason that the serfs and the peasants and the working class, or whatever you want to call them, all throughout history, the only reason they've been kept around is because the ruling elite are parasites, using us to create their wealth and privilege. And they have all the resources in the world and all the most intelligent people in the world working for him, being able to twist our minds around so that we can't even think straight, can't even see what's obvious right before our eyes. Oh man, this is just so ponderous. And what's it going to take to get you to finally embrace the truth? It's, one thing that, brainwashing makes it difficult for people to be able to accept the objective truth, because anything that goes against brainwashing, for some reason, there's something built into brainwashing that prevents people from being able to accept the reality underneath all the brainwashing. But, the time has run out. And you're done. This dedication, all the surface-minded stuff, and is paralyzed the world. The opposition to the ultra-right ruling elite is paralyzed. And they're running wild. They're working their asses off. To be honest with you, they wanted it more. All the rest of the people wanted to do is go party. Even like punk rock, something like punk rock is sitting out there and like, punk rock? Okay, yeah, punk rock. Yeah, no. Punk rock sublimated our energy into thinking that we were doing something to help advance the cause of humanity by going out and getting drunk and running into each other in mosh pits and screaming our asses off at local little meaningless gigs. And forgetting about the fact that what they were pointing out in punk rock was a blueprint to be able to, go after the ruling class and even the playing field or something. And it's just like, let's just go to more gigs and bounce around off of each other. Oh, I'm losing it, man. I'm so much pain. Number 5 of the top 10 people who'd be better off if they weren't born. Ashton Kutcher. This guy's a total scumbag. Hanging out with Diddy. Best friends with Diddy. So, there's something probably skeezy about that guy to begin with. And he's such a poser and such a surface-minded phony. And, like he's looking at him and his actions and the way he interacts with people when he's performing is just like watching a mayonnaise sandwich sitting on a white picket fence drying in the sun. And his wife too, that's a piece of work, right? Mila Kunis. And that whole escapade where they're writing letters to a judge trying to convince the judge to take it easy on their pal Danny Masterson after he was convicted of raping 3 women, was it? 2 or 3 women, saying like, he's such a nice guy, he's so good with the kids and whatnot. And the judge, makes those letters public, and people are like, what the hell's wrong with these people? What are these monsters talking about? And then they come out and they do this apology video, and it's not even an apology video, it's an apology in the sense that they are saying that they felt sorry that the people who might have been offended by their actions felt offended. They weren't saying we're sorry for actions that were short-sighted and misguided by us and that we're wrong. They never admitted wrongdoing in the apology video. And they come rolling out and they're like looking worse than I do, which is saying something, with disheveled hair and wrinkly t-shirts. And these are multi-millionaire people who have all kinds of servants and stuff like that taking care of every need and want. And they roll out like they couldn't even give one rat's ass about what they really done, which was ask for leniency for a rapist. And they have, and again, they do this half-assed sort of, non-apology, which is, it does, if you watch it, it's, your jaws will drop. It's just like you're looking at them going like, what the hell is wrong with these monsters? They're sitting there looking, yeah, like, we're really sorry that the people who were offended by these things couldn't see the logic of our actions and how great our actions were. And, it's just too bad that these people aren't operating at the same level as us, or something to that effect. And I'm like, looking at this thing going like, you rotten, screwed up pieces of filth. Number 4, the top 10 people would be better off if they were never born. The entire Bush family. Those guys are horrible. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with those frickin' monsters? Every single one of them. Prescott Bush, he's the banker for Hitler, okay? Bush Sr., he's, pardoning everyone for the Iran-Contra affair to keep from getting caught. And head of the CIA during the cleanup after the Nixon years, which had to be like the biggest, cleaner job in the history of cleaner jobs. And on and on and on. He's the one, according to Laura Bush in an interview that she did for NPR, Bush Sr. was the one who was in the White House during the 9/11 attacks while Jr. was off reading a nursery rhyme to a bunch of kids in a Florida school. And Bush Sr. almost choked to death on a pretzel. Everybody's looking at what a cute guy. What was the civility and the manners of Bush Jr. back in the office again? What a bunch of idiots. It's that type of idiocy that makes me wonder what the hell you've been doing for the last 20 years, and it explains everything about why the world is so bad off and on the verge of collapse. People who worship Bush Jr., we could wish we had somebody like Bush Jr. even back in the White House. At least you could count on him being a gentleman. Ask the million people that him and his neocon cabal wound up sentencing to death by fighting a war that never needed to be fought and lying to the American public over and over and over again to get us to advocate approving the war itself. And Jenna Bush Hager. And then we've got the great-granddaughter of Hitler's banker is hosting the Today Show. I mean, it's Funhouse Mirrors time. Number 3 of the people in the world would be better off if they were never born. Mike Love, that creepy dude from the Beach Boys. That guy is a real piece of work, huh? Not from being unsupportive of Brian Wilson's attempt to create a masterpiece, 1967, to create a rock symphony 2 years before Tommy in the mid to late 60s, when 2 years was like, 1,000 years in our, sort of time scale, with the way that creativity kind of mopes around. Ultimately winds up in degrading creativity rather than enhancing it or providing some sort of growth mechanism for it to get better and stronger. Number 2 of the top 10 worst people that we'd all be better off if they were never born. Men. Don't say it's not true. I saw that man versus bear thing. Everybody chose bear. Everybody I saw chose bear rather than be locked up in a room with a man. And the number 1 choice of people would have been better off if they were never born. Everyone. Yes. Everyone, goddammit. All right, what a pleasure it's been to be here. I'm sorry that I ran out of steam here on today's episode. I did a whole bunch yesterday, and it's a million degrees up in this piece, and I'm really hurting, it's really struggling here. But I had a lot of fun. I don't know about you. I know there's a lot of heavy dosages of browbeating in today's episode, but I think it's probably best that we talk about it rather than keep living in denial. Tune in next time with its top 10 worst times to have a random prostate exam in public. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being there. And I've got